Hello, and thank you in advance for watching this video. My name is Lindsay Hulley, and my partner is Yasiel Trujillo, and we are both students in Professor Cave's Design for People with Disabilities class at Duke University. And our project is called DECI Box Builders. For this project, we are working with the Durham Exchange Club Industries, or DECI. DECI is a private, nonprofit, community-based rehabilitation program that serves adults with a wide range of physical and cognitive disabilities in Durham, North Carolina. At the company, employees perform a variety of production services, including packaging. One packaging job includes folding and taping cardboard boxes so they can later be filled with goods. Our first client is Mary, who works at DECI. She is an adult female who is very social and enthusiastic. She has mild intellectual disabilities, which makes it difficult for her to process information. Because of this, she needs to be told short and direct instructions, and sometimes these need to be repeated. Our second client is Mark, who is an adult male who has partial dexterity in both arms, is able to understand and answer questions, and is cooperative and friendly. Mark has cerebral palsy, a neurological disorder that affects his motor function, and spina bifida, a condition that affects his spinal cord and nerves. Because of these, he is mostly affected by his impaired motor function, his upper extremity dysfunction, and his need for a wheelchair. The main problem that DECI is facing is that not many employees can perform this box folding task. Mary was unable to fold boxes due to her mild intellectual disabilities. She sometimes struggles folding the flaps in the correct order, and she has difficulty putting the tape in a straight line over the center of the box. Mark has poor coordination and weak muscles due to his cerebral palsy, which makes it difficult for him to hold the flaps in place and tape at the same time. He also uses a manual wheelchair which is tilted backwards, which restricts his ability to work for long periods of time at the common work table. With this in mind, the goal of our project is to develop a system that makes the folding and taping of cardboard boxes easier and with better accuracy. And even though the device is for Mary and Mark, it should be intuitive and simple enough so that it can be used by other employees at DECI.
The device that we created is a three-dimensional structure made primarily out of plywood. It is composed of four main components: an overall frame, which includes the arms and the bottom base, a top base with a sliding track used to push the boxes into the corner, interchangeable bases that adjust the boxes of different sizes, and sliders made of ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene that have multiple functions. Now, let's talk about each of these in more detail. The outer frame is composed of two H-shaped arms on the bottom base. These are held together by glue and metal brackets. On each arm, we attach a metal slab where the slider knob pushes in to lock the slider in place. This metal piece increases the durability of the device. On the bottom of the base, we place a non-slip silicone mat that increases friction and thus makes the device more stable. On top of the bottom base, we included a table to help decide which of the interchangeable bases is needed, depending on which box size they're building at DECI that day. More on this in a second. We made a total of 9 different interchangeable bases that accommodate for boxes of different heights. These are made of 1/2 inch thick plywood and painted with a red mahogany stain, just like the rest of the structure. The bases are labeled on all 4 sides with numbers 1 through 9, and a separate table is provided to the supervisor where each base number is associated with the size of boxes they are made for. This table is located in the user manual and, as you may recall, on the bottom base of the device as well. The top base with the sliding track goes on top of the interchangeable bases and serves to push the boxes accurately into the corner where they will be folded and taped. This base has a 14-inch bearing slider with a handle for better grip and a corner piece to trap the corner of the box and push it to open into a rectangular shape. On the bottom, this base has 2 wood stoppers on opposite corners that effectively lock it in place once it is on top of the interchangeable bases to avoid back and forth motion. Finally, we have the sliders, which are likely the most important piece of our project. These sliders sit on top of the arms on the outer base and have different multiple features. First, to allow it to slide across the arms back and forth, they have a slit at the bottom that is exactly the same width as the arms, allowing it to slide but to stay secure in place as well. To lock them in place, they have a knob on the outside that pushes into the metal piece when it is tightened, effectively holding the slider in place. To make sure the boxes stay put while they are folded, the sliders have metal brackets that sit on the two sides of the box once it is in place. Additionally, the sliders have swiveling brackets on top that go back and forth, allowing the user to fold the flaps and keep them closed while they apply the tape. Finally, to ensure that the swivel mechanism is always placed in the right position when the flaps are folded, we have these stoppers to limit the motion of the swivel in the desired orientation.
To set up the device for the day, the supervisor first needs to determine the dimensions of boxes that will be built and choose the appropriate height base. The height base is determined by looking at the legend that shows the box dimensions and corresponding base number. For example, if they are building 8x6x4 boxes that day, the supervisor will select base number 9 and place the height base on top of the outer frame. Next, she will add the top base with the slider track on top of the height base. Finally, she will adjust sliders. The tightening knob can be loosened or tightened and moved left or right to the correct location. These locations can be determined by placing the box in the device and then moving the sliders so they are flush with the box. After sliders are in the right place, tighten the knobs so the device is secure. The device is ready now to be used by the employees. After the device has been set up by a supervisor, the user can then start using the device. First, the user will take the box that needs to be folded and place it with the bottom up on top of the base between the corner and the slider. Using the blue handle, the user can push the slider towards the corner and effectively push the box into position. Next, the user will fold the inner flaps down with his hands and then use the L-shaped pieces to hold the flaps down securely. After the inner flaps are folded, the user repeats this process with the outer flaps and swivels the L-shaped pieces to hold the flaps closed. The L-shaped pieces, in addition to holding the flaps down, are restricted by stoppers, which creates a guide for taping. The user can use this guide to tape the box shut while the flaps are being held closed. After taping, the user can move the L-shaped swivel pieces out of the way and remove the folded and taped box.
The box folding device that we created this semester increases the accuracy and efficiency of the box folding process at DECI. When asked to describe the impact that the device will have on the employees, Supervisor Tara Moore said, "Since so many clients are not able to make boxes and this negatively impacts their pay, this device will not only have a positive effect on their box making skills, but it should increase their pay as well. The clients will still need to be supervised during the box making, but the supervisors will be able to keep their hands away from the task completion. During a rating, which is used to determine the client's pay, the supervisor cannot assist but can verbally prompt. This device allows that to happen." She also said that the intuitive design of the device helps make it comfortable to use. Once the supervisor sets it up to the correct size, the clients will be able to use it successfully. The handle is very comfortable as well, and it can be done one-handed, which is an awesome added bonus. Finally, she mentioned that this device doesn't really allow for errors when used correctly. To conclude this presentation, we would like to acknowledge the help of the Duke Biomedical Engineering Department, as well as Professor Kevin Caves and TA Paul Thompson in completing our project this semester. We would also like to thank Tara Moore and the DCI staff for their availability and honest feedback.